The other thing is, when you came in, you picked up not only this document, this booklet that we have for today, but you picked up this orange sheet. Make sure you drop that off on the same table. We want to make sure that your information is updated in Banner. If a student issue comes up, if we want to ask you if you want to teach another class, you know, whatever the situation might be, we do want to have a way that we can contact you. It really is critical, and if it's between break, we may try to do it. We only call if there is no other way, if it can't wait. We have more to do than bother you during the breaks and evenings and all of that, but if it's critical, we do need to be able to get a hold of you, and this will help with that. The last thing that you picked up was 3 pages called the Faculty Mentor, I forget what I called it. One of the things that we have put in place just recently is, and this is to help you meet your deadlines, we want you to have email and we want you to check that, but we also have assigned a full-time person to each of the part-time people that we have. And they're going to be, I don't want to say bugging you, I don't want to say harassing you or getting after you, but they're going to be checking in with you to make sure that you're on track to meet these deadlines, the no-shows, the grades, all of that kind of thing. For no-shows in the fall, you'll turn in the no-show form to the registrar. You will also turn it into your faculty mentor, and they will go in Banner and actually pull up the student's record and physically no-show that student. We're trying to have 2 different ways to attack this because we have to get the no-show errors down to 0. So you may get contacted by that faculty member. This is brand new, so if they don't get to you, just know that they're there and they're going to be watching out for you. You are still responsible for your no-shows in your classes, but they want to help you answer any questions you have and meet those deadlines. So that's what that form is for. Check to make sure you know who your person is, and if you're not on the form, if we overlooked you, it was just a mistake, and we'll make sure that we get that updated information to you. Were there any questions about that? Any of those things? Okay. Now, Ms. Kitchens.
Let me show you something real quick, because I'm thanks to stuff. So I was supposed to show you how to access the handbook and the catalog on the website. I forgot that. So on the Southern Crescent website, you click on current students. And if you scroll down, you'll see the course catalog, which will have the curriculum, course descriptions, that kind of information. And a little further down, it's got policies. With the student handbook, it's a PDF file. Click on policies, it'll bring up the student handbook. So do familiarize yourself with those policies, or at least know where to access it if you do have questions. It's got the grading policy, that kind of policy. And on the grades, I would recommend that when you put the grades in Banner Self-Serve, that you maybe email your mentor and let them know that you've got your grades completed. And if you miss even one grade, you're going to show up on a list that the registrar runs that shows a missing grade. So be sure you've entered all the grades. And I wanted to tell you also that once the registrar has run a process that moves the grades to a history file, you cannot change them any longer on Banner Web. You have to do, then if the grade is wrong, you have to do a grade change form.
You're good? Oh, I wanted it to stay up there. No, the whole thing, the whole thing. There you go. All right, that's good. Thank you. So has anybody learned anything? Let's see a show of hands. Does anybody need to stand up? Well, okay, I'll stand up by myself then. I appreciate everything that you guys do in Angel. It's over and beyond. Well, actually, it used to be it was over and beyond. Now it's just part of what we do and how we serve our students. Before I get into what I'm doing, or the book, last year we had, this is just for information, but to me it's just like it boggles my mind. we had 418 learning management classes, which is Angel classes. And for summer quarter, we had 593 Angel classes. This quarter, we're going to have 713 learning management classes using Angel. Now, we've got over 1,200, about 1,251 classes. I work in classes. I don't work in student number, okay? Because that's what I deal with is you guys. Y'all are what I'm important. You know, my students are important. Y'all students are important. But I deal with classes. So if you're an Angel, I'm saying you've got this many classes. So this quarter, we're dealing with a lot, and I do mean a lot of online classes and a lot of hybrid classes and a lot of web classes. And the most at this point is still web enhanced classes, which is what it should be. Mr. Flint asked me, and I think I'm remembering what you asked me, and I told you to remind me. I sent something out earlier, about 3 weeks ago, that there was a mandatory meeting today, and it was actually this meeting and not an Angel class mandatory meeting today at 1:30. So don't show up at 1:30 unless you want to come and be trained on Angel because you've never used it before. And we also have another class October the 5th at 9 o'clock, just in case I forget to cover that. The first page on page 20, we have a lot of people that can help you when you're working with Angel. How many of you have an Angel class? It's the majority of you actually at this point. I am the Dean for Online Learning, but that does not mean that I take care of all 700 classes except to make sure they're out there. Elaine Denham is on the Flint campus. Elaine has been working with learning management system for probably 9 or 10 years. She is a past teacher. She knows her stuff, and I appreciate everything she does. If any of you have seen the little booklet, Staying Connected for our students, it has the information for them on how to get connected to email and banner and Angel. She's the one that started that out for us, and we're actually using a lot of her material. When you sign into Angel, that's where you're going to see the training. It's her training. On the Griffin campus, we've got several people that can help teachers. These are not the people necessarily that are going to help the students. It's the ones that are going to help the teachers. Michael Cook, Jennifer Edwards. Now, Jennifer has started working as a high school coordinator, but if you talk right to her, she might stop and help you out sometimes because she is excellent in what she does. And everybody on here has been doing this for quite a while. Larry Pilkington, he can help us, and he's been working diligently on a problem that we've had that I didn't realize we had, but he's taking care of it. And Gary Pitts is over here. Stand up, Gary. You're the only one that can stand up today. This is Gary. He came in, what is your title?
Visionary.
His title is this long, and it has to do with audio, video, something. And this man has been through the ringer this year. Not only he's given up and just calls himself a visionary, but he has done a little bit of everything, and he's jumped right in, and I appreciate that. And then Leela Wells also helps as time goes by. And the reason I'm giving you these people is because sometimes you may send me an email and you may not get any response. It's because I've been in meetings for 24 hours, it feels like. So if you've got somebody else's email, guess what? You can email them or call them, and they don't mind you're calling them. On page 21, I talk about a little bit about training opportunities. We have a lot of training here on the campus, and you're welcome to come to any of them that you want to come to. We also have got training that the state of Georgia puts on, and it's for Angel, but we've also got, and nobody else has mentioned this, we have got that the state puts on, and you guys may have to help me with this. Oh shoot. For new faculty, we actually have, the state of Georgia puts on a Faculty Development Institute, and it is for teachers that have never taught before. You are not a veteran teacher. How many non-veteran teachers do we have in here? Come on, folks. How many of you were in a career field before you came here? There you go. That's a non-veteran teacher. I am not a veteran teacher. I am new to teaching. I've only taught 8 years. That's pretty new. You know, some people, they say, well, I've been teaching 40 years, and I say, could not. And I honor you. We've also got some professional development services. We've got 18 online modules that you can access. It's free, and the state of Georgia has paid for this. It's through Cengage. It has to do with adult learners. It has to do with people that have disabilities. It has to do with how do I create an online class. It goes on and on and on. Any of that information, if you would like it, you're more than welcome. We will give you that information because we want you to be the best that you can be. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'd just like to share with everybody here in the last grade, I did go to the Faculty Development Institute training and met instructors from throughout the state.
Right.
Most of us were new, but there were 30-year instructors from different technical schools there. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
It is a great opportunity.
So many connections, so much information. It is definitely worth your time. It was 3 days, and it was just fabulous.
Okay.
Summarize her response.
The response to the faculty institution that the state puts in, she went the last break that we had. It's a 3-day training session, and she said it was absolutely fantastic. Okay, wonderful. What was your wording? It's good. It's worth it, isn't it?
It is absolutely worth your time without a doubt.
It is worth your time. And the school does pay for you to go in. There is a cost. There is a little bit of a cost to it, but we will, if you promise you'll stay with us, we promise we'll help you out here. I'm doing strange things to this thing. Most of you know what an online course is, a hybrid and a web enhanced, but I'm going to cover it a little bit more, and I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of each one of these. On page 24, online courses are taught 100% of the time. We do have a few courses here that they say they're online, but they meet with their students the first day of the quarter. Okay, that's really not an online course, but they say it is, so we go with it saying that it's an online course. For an online course, a student does everything online. They literally never come to campus. There are some times that you may want your students to take a proctored midterm or a proctored final. This is acceptable. You have to work with that student to decide where they're going to take that proctor. Don't leave it up to me, because I'm not going to proctor them, okay? We've got 7,000 students here. A hybrid course, it just means that it's a combination of online instruction and hybrid, and did that wrong, and classroom instruction, face-to-face. Our suggestion is that you should have approximately 50% of your class in class, face-to-face. And you're not going to necessarily use that anymore for lecturing. You're going to use that to make sure the student understands what they have already studied before they got here. Maybe group assignments or going over teamwork or anything of that nature. You can use group for that. Now, some people still do lecture during that time. I understand, but it does not just have to be lecture. Make sure your students assess your students during that time. If you're choosing or wanting to meet less than 50% of the time on campus, you need to talk to your specific dean. I don't have a problem with this. I understand what a hybrid class is, but we're trying to make sure that the students are getting what they need and that you are a veteran enough teacher that you can pull this off. Okay, I mean, it's just like if you're a brand new teacher, I just don't want you teaching online to begin with. I don't mind it being web enhanced, but it is not fair to you to throw you into an online class and you've never taught using any type of learning management system. Now, we have people probably sitting here that have come from other schools and they have taught in Angel or Blackboard or something. You don't have to say, okay, you've got to teach web enhanced first. No, you can go straight into an online class.